is the way to express myself. It is the way I communicate with the world. It can feel quite vulnerable sometimes, because through my art, people can see my soul. But at the same time, I connect with a lot of people through my artwork, as they find a little bit of themselves in it. My name is Oksana Zhelisko. I'm a visual artist and art instructor, mother of two, and here is my art story.
What about your background? Where did you come from? How did this begin?
I was born and raised in Ukraine, and I guess the story began right there and then. I had an amazing grandpa. He was really artistic. So was my mom, but I guess the life was too busy and they were doing their own things and never had time for art. But at the same time, they were the ones who were supporting me all the time, all through the years. And now my kids quite support me as well.
As a child, I was always active, involved in many sport activities and dancing, but art probably took a first place in that run. I could paint for hours, and quite often we had competitions with my grandpa, who's going to paint faster and better. And of course, he always let me win. I have to say I was blessed from the very beginning to have so much support from my mom and my grandpa and now my kids. Then I finished art school and university, and in 2002 I moved to Canada. Having all these raw skills and knowledge, I honestly could not say that I'm an artist back then. Looking back, the artist in me was born here in Canada. For a few years I was in search for my style and also subject, and I quickly realized that I'm drawn to figurative art, especially portraits of women.
Would you say that this became as a natural thing, or was it some other inspiration that led to this?
Well, back in university, I had to do my final show, and it had to be a cohesive show. It has to be at least 10, 15 paintings in certain subject. And I guess I didn't know who I am. I didn't know what I was doing. So it was a bunch of different stuff. It was landscapes and still lifes and some portraits. And at the end, my professor asked me, well, it's a nice body of work, but there's no story. Like, it's all over the place. And I said, exactly it. I don't know where I am. I'm all over the place. I'm trying to figure out. So I guess after I'm done here, my journey begins, and I will figure it out. So when I came to Canada, I couldn't work for the first 6 months. So all I was doing is painting. And I quickly, I don't know how it happened, just realized that I'm so drawn to portraits. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to continue exploring. And of course, women portraits were probably the leadership in that.
Mm-hmm.
At times I use myself as a model in my own paintings. It really helped me to understand my own emotions and feelings, and it became a visual diary. So quite often for me, the initial ideas come from impression of my subject matter. These thoughts and ideas are usually the most honest and raw. They're the keepers. And then I start working closer and closer and try to develop those ideas in my paintings. As I continue to observe and analyze my subject, these ideas might change and transform. I start thinking about details, color harmony, technical points of painting, but it is important for me not to lose this first raw breath of inspiration and motivation. I remind myself of these mental notes all the way through the painting in order to lead my painting to this organic state.
How and why did you begin to teach?
Why did I begin to teach? Out of curiosity. I always wanted to do. I always do something different. I'm trying to either change the subject matter of my paintings or put myself in the completely uncomfortable situation that I just try to move forward. So back in, when was it? 2012, I believe I had a conversation with an amazing artist, and he was also an art instructor. And he was the one who kind of pushed me and led me into teaching. So one day I decided, okay, I will try.
In 2013, I held my very first workshop on Old Masters technique. I remember this class like it was yesterday. I was so nervous that I couldn't even hold a brush in my hand. It's hard to believe that it's been 8 years since I started teaching, and I'm so blessed with such an amazing group of students that were with me since the very beginning, and new students who also became my family. Sometimes life is hard. Things can go wrong. In your life, in your love, in friendship or work, in health or any other ways the life can go wrong. My studio gives me healing. This is one place where I can create a problem and solve it at once. Most of the time I'm in control. Painting is not what I do, it's who I am. When the things go tough, get inspired by it. Feed on it, emotionally and physically. Observe, learn, and then take it all to canvas. This is how the art is made. Make good art, create your story, and just be happy.